Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing really well. It's been a few videos since I've done a crafting video, so I wanted to give those tumbling tower block pumpkins a try. And I'm gonna add a few tweaks of my own, different than some other people. So let's get this started. Let me show you what you're gonna need. Of course, you're gonna need your Dollar Tree tumbling box, tumbling tower game, and hopefully you can find the large box. These are still available. They're 72. They also sell a box that's smaller than this with 36. And you're going to need paintbrushes to paint it. And I also got these at the Dollar Tree. Crafter Square. And I love this for putting the wood together. It's super glue. Wood glue, and that's also at the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some paint. Now I got this at Walmart. I got the chalk Waverly pumpkin. How appropriate, pumpkin paint for some pumpkins. And for the top I'm going to be using the Waverly wax in Antique. Okay. These are only, I think, $1.67 for the smallest bottle, but you can also get orange and green or brown at the Dollar Tree. Let's see, I'm going to use some cinnamon sticks. Got some bag of cinnamon sticks. And if you choose to, after watching this, you can get these at the Dollar Tree. And what else are we going to need? Let's see. Oh, some embellishments. I just have some of these. I'm going to use something here. One of these I'm going to use. And I'll show you why when we get to that part. And let me see. Is that it? I also got this at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to try this out. It says pumpkin chai fragrance oil. So I was thinking about putting that on something, maybe down inside of the pumpkin, just to give it a fragrance. And I think that's it. So let's get this started. You can get paint for these pumpkins at Dollar Tree. And it's new paint we just recently got in. It's by Rich Art and it's premium acrylic paint. And you can see they have the colors you would use. Okay, so starting off, you're going to use 8 of the tumbling tower blocks, and the 9th one, if you so choose, can be a stem, and we'll show you that towards the end. So we're not going to use the 9th one right now. And get your glue out, whatever glue you decide to use. Now, hot glue doesn't work as well on these. It kind of doesn't stick as close together as you would like it to, closed up. So I use that super glue, wood glue. Okay, so you want to take 3 to start. And we are going to run some glue down the side of this one. Oop, not that much. You just don't need too much. Take that and just drag it down because we don't need a lot, because once we put the 2 pieces of wood together, then the glue is going to seep out the side. I'm going to put it together like this. Let me show you this way. Put it together like this. So it's basically half and half. So half of it is sticking, half of it is open over here. Okay, and what I like to do, see that glue that's sticking out? I like to take a wet paper towel. I have a wipey, I just happen to have these in my craft room. That excess glue off of there. Okay, then we're going to run the glue down the side of this one. Just a little bit. Goes a long way. I'll put that on the side of this. See if there's any excess glue. I see a little bit. I don't know if anybody else is as picky as me about the excess glue, but Okay, what I like to do too is push it down so that I know that this surface is going to be flat. And I see some excess glue down there, so we want to get rid of that real quick. Okay. So let's make sure it's nice and even. Feel it, make sure that the wood is nice and even so it stands nice when you're finished. Okay, see that one's a little crooked. So we'll just straighten that up. And there we go. We're done with that one. Let's take the second half, do it the same way. Run the glue down the side. Little dab will do ya. Okay. Put that on the side. Okay. Get this one. Do the same thing. Alrighty. And we will put that one there. Let's get that excess glue off of there. Just gonna hold this in place and wipe it off. Okay. A little bit extra. Extra glue. Okay. There we go. We got these two pieces. Which are actually going to go this way. Okay, now what we're going to do is these two little guys are going to attach those two. So what we want to do is just put glue down halfway on this wider side. And be very sparing with the glue. Oops, a little too much there. So let me wipe it a little bit off. Don't want that much. And then we're going to turn it over and do it on the opposite side. Okay. Cool beans. Alright, I'm going to take it and put it about halfway on these. It's going to move around a little bit till you get it steady in there where you want it. Pull it out a little bit more, it's not halfway. Make sure it's kind of flush with your surface. Okay. Alright, looks good. Do the same thing with this one. Just go down half the side with glue. And then half the side on the opposite side. Come on, glue. Come on, you can do it. Okay, we're going to slide this one right in here. Okay. Okay, now it should look like this. That's what we should have. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side to dry. And I have one already dry here. So this is where you're going to paint it. I'm just going to paint one side. You guys know how to paint. Just quick paint this a little bit. Get my paintbrush. And we'll start painting. And we are going to paint the top. Not quite good enough paint. Don't get too much. I like to go down inside. Not all the way, just about half, a quarter away maybe. Third. Okay. Alright. Now it's up to you if you want to do 1 or 2 coats. I'll show you some that I've painted already and what it looks like with each. And you can do the bottom, you don't have to do the bottom. But if you prefer to do the bottom, that's cool. And my glue fell over. Okay. So, you guys know how to paint. I'm not going to sit here and put you to sleep watching me paint. Watching paint dry. That's the old saying, isn't it? Okay, so you get the idea. And like I said, you can decide whether you want to do 1 coat or 2. I'll just finish this front side with you. A little bit more paint. A little bit. Alrighty, when you're done, just go back and make sure you covered everything. Alright, so we got that painted. So let me show you one that I have finished painting already. I'll be right back. Okie doke, here's 2 that I've painted. They're dry. And can you tell which one has 1 coat and which one has 2 coats? Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Bring it a little closer. That's 2 coats. And this is 1 coat. Not too much difference. Okay, depending on which one of the 3 stems I'm going to give you a choice of doing, this is where you would paint these 2. I'm going to take that Antique Wax by Waverly and paint this block. And you do want to do 2 coats with these. Okay, do the top. You don't have to go all the way because a good portion is going to go down inside your pumpkin. I'm just going to leave that over there to dry. I already have one drying dried right there. And you're so going to do the same thing with this little block if you so choose to use these. I'm going to paint these. I paint all the sides on this, so I decide which one I'm going to use when I'm finished. So you're going to paint that. And I already have one finished. So let me show you guys where you go from here. Now, some people glue these right in when they're doing this at the beginning without painting it first. I'm kind of scared to do that because I'm thinking if I paint it at the end, which would be now, then it's going to be inside here. And then I'm going to get the brown paint all over the side of the pumpkin, which I don't want to do. So I wait until after this is all finished, then I paint this, and then I put this in there. So let me show you. Take this one. Like I said, you didn't have to paint the whole thing because it's going to go inside, and it should fit pretty snug. Like this one is going in really snug, so give it a good push down in there. Okay. Depending how far you want it to go down. That's what it looks like. Okay. So what I'm thinking about doing is put a little dab of that oil on the part that I didn't paint. Let me get that oil. Pumpkin chai. Open that up. It doesn't have a dropper, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tip of my paintbrush and stick it down in the bottle and actually let it drip. And I'm going to stick this down into the pumpkin. Okay, you ready? Push it, push it, push it down. There we go. Perfect. Wish I had smell-o-vision. Can you smell that? Let me see. Oh my goodness. That is so cool doing that. Never seen anyone else do that. That's one of my little touches. So let me show you what else I'm going to stick in there as a stem. Okay, so what else I think looks really cool in here, because it kind of looks like a real stem. Is a cinnamon stick. So I took these cinnamon sticks and I cut them in half. And just make sure you have some that'll fit down in there. Some of them are too wide. And when you cut it, of course, the fragrance comes out from the cinnamon stick. But I'm also going to add some of that oil onto the cinnamon stick. Oopsie, lost the lid. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go down inside the cinnamon stick. There we go. Cool beans. Alrighty. Now let's stick that in there. And push it down until you get it to where you want it. And how cool does that look? Is that cool or what? I think I kind of like it on that side. That is super cool. And let's see how it smells. Oh my goodness. That is super cool. Okay, that's another way of doing it. And last but not least, our little block. And we're going to put a little drip of that oil. Let's bring that down so you can see it. Put a little drip of that oil just on the base of that. A little bit. Okay, and then we're going to take and put glue on that. And we're going to glue that to the top of the pumpkin. Okay, so it's going to look like, I'm not going to glue it because I'm going to use one of the other, or the other two probably. But that's another idea. You could take that and just glue that to the top and then put some embellishments in those little holes, which I'm going to show you when I do the other two. So that's a third idea of what kind of stem to use. Let me put this lid back on here. Do not want to spill this oil. That would be a mess. So let's see, where's my other one? I have another one that's dry. Okay, so here we go. Let's put this one in here. Push it down in there as far as you want it to go. Okay, get that in there. Alright. Looking good. I love it. Let's get our cinnamon stick. Put that in this one. Cool beans. I like the way that's cracked like a real stem would be. That's pretty neat. Alright. Now we can add some extra embellishments. Alright, I'm going to cut off some of these. A couple of these little guys. And they actually have a little stem to them. So you can stick them down in those holes next to the pumpkin stem. Okay, now this is where you're going to want to add your embellishments in those little open spaces on the side here, right there. And I already stuck this one in there. And you probably want your glue gun, depending on what you're putting in here. So let me stick this second one in here and show you what I'm talking about. Let's put this in. And we'll stick that down in there as far as we can get it. And then get the glue gun out. Whip these around. I like the way this one came out. It just sat right down in there nicely. Of course, we got to get this one. It's giving me a little bit of a hard time. So we're going to add some hot glue to you. Okay. So put a little hot glue underneath here. There we go. And we are going to put you down here. I probably should have put my little finger protectors on. But I think I have no feeling left in my fingers from doing crafts anyway. And you may need to hold that down for a few seconds. Just make sure you don't glue your finger to it. Now that one's staying down. But I want this one to go down too. I don't think I got any glue on that one. So let's add a little bit more. Just a little teeny bit. Let's see if that's enough. Hold that down. I hope that it stays down. And I just love the way these are coming out. Especially this little cinnamon stick. And adding this touch. Pretty cool. So let's get that little piece of glue that's hanging off of there. And that is adorable. Oh my goodness. With the stem like that. Looks like a real pumpkin stem. I started putting some flowers on this one back here. But I'm really concentrating on this one. I just love that cinnamon stick. So I love my little tweak. Cinnamon stick. And this one, not painting it until after everything and putting it in afterward. And adding the oil fragrance. So that's a few of my little tweaks. So that's 3 different stems you can use. Where's this little square one at? What did I do with the square one? I lost it. Let's see. Oh, there it is. And using this one. And of course you would add some flowers or some greenery in these little holes. But that's all the little stem ideas. The little square guy, the cinnamon stick, and the Jenga block. Just painting half to 3/4 of the Jenga block and sticking it down in there. So I love this one. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So cute. I'm going to take some pictures of it. Show you some close-up shots. It's pretty close though. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you give it a try. And I want to thank you so much for watching. And if you're already a subscriber, I really appreciate it. And if you're not yet one, I hope you will be. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And real quick, I just want to let you guys know, it's a few hours later, and I just took a whiff of our pumpkin chai fragrance oil and cinnamon stick, and oh my goodness, it still smells really good. And also, during the time we were doing the video, I meant to put this in a little earlier, but the one we were doing in the beginning is pretty much all done. It's all dried. It's not coming apart. So that only took a little bit of time. I would still give it a few hours before I started painting it or anything, but that's pretty cool. I just want you guys to know that. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, if you wanted to, you could take a little bit of this antique Waverly wax or maybe a brownish color, just a little tiny bit, and just do the edges, just a little tiny bit of darkness on the edges, on the corners. So that's another idea.